Whoa, welcome to another Until It Done video. And yeah, I know this time it's a little bit different, but I was like, why I shouldn't get something unique for once. And especially that's one of my friends were bugging me about doing some vlogs, which is not my cup of tea, but at the same time I was like, let's do something in between that, sharing with you the road that I'm driving in, at the same time talking about Hardabasht things like usual. Tonight I want to talk about three main things, I believe. The first thing is about decriminalizing of jaywalking, and I know I'm not against that, but there is some irony. I mean, the motive of decriminalizing jaywalking is because it used to make a racial profile for people of color, like the people who get hard consequences because of jaywalking, most of them people of color in general. So as a way to not give police officers such card anymore, they decriminalize jaywalking in general. But the irony is, what I notice is the increasing of the white jaywalking, like or at least for cultures that's not considered racially profiled in the legal aspect. Like I was in San Francisco yesterday, and this man was walking in the Rainbow Street, I believe, maybe, or Market Street, walking at the left lane, and he is not like look like a homeless. He was like dressed well, groomed beard, shaved beard, groomed hair, and I believe he walking with a business suit. He was walking literally in the middle of the left lane of the street, and there was a lot of reckless jaywalking in the area in San Francisco yesterday. Besides that one, and all of them, none of them is homeless, none of them is people of color, none of them, like, there is some Asian lady, but most of who were like jumping on the front of the car without consideration were white. So yeah, after all, some people needed to feel it's illegal, I think. Anyway, the second thing is something that I want to share with you, some of things that we don't scale it well, but it has a very good impact. One of my passengers, we were talking, I forget what we are talking about, and then I said, of course I'm not like talking about you and not criticizing you or something like this. A guy was sitting in the middle, told me like, Hardabasht, we are friends, and Of course, he didn't say Hardabash, but I will not intentionally flyer my name, okay? You need to get the effort to know my real name. Anyway, so he basically know my name from the dashboard, and he used my name. That's what we shall do, people. We shall start to use the name of the people. When you call someone by his name while you're talking with him, sometimes it's give a good impression on it. It's give a positive impression. And I'm not strange from the pack. I also forget about such thing. But when it's happened to you with someone, then you try your best to use it for others. So I think that I will try my best to call people their name. What the third thing? Actually, not just 3. Actually, it's I think there will be more. Uber, like usual, kind of didn't learn their lesson. They're kind of waiting for stuff to happen, and then they deal with the consequences while crying, like usual. That's the difference between who is clever and who is smart. Smart people are in the intelligence level, in the like getting learning stuff fast, usually getting a higher scores. Those smart people. But the clever people are the people who has more in the aspect of the future. They don't need something to happen to react. They have what they call the practice of the prevention, which is that I believe the borders of Uber as the borders of DoorDash, forgetting about it. I mean, they had fatal flaws toward their drivers with the pandemic, and I think like people who working in these jobs now, they're working in it. Why I'm working with Uber? Not because it's ideal as I see it, but it's the best that I can get currently. So it's the best of the worst, in my opinion. I noticed that a lot of passenger that has a complaint about drivers canceling their trips or getting long before they're getting the drivers, and I think the share of that, because the drivers and riders getting out of kind of a harsh time. So riders in some part, they feel more stress of the same amount of time of waiting, which is it's not the same amount of time of waiting they have. I know for sure that they're waiting more, but I say like the react will be more aggressive, and the drivers will be as well. I believe that most of the Uber drivers, like they feel they started to get numb to the job, especially after there was no change of the, like, Uber as a company, they didn't give any considerations that's not really mandatory or not really pressured to get. They have the psychopathic mind of business. I'm not, actually I can challenge on it that they have the psychopathic mind of business. And basically, so, I mean, the idea of the Uber as a platform, as a foundation based on a revolution. Travis revoked the idea of the taxi cab in San Francisco, and because in San Francisco the limit of the taxi cabs are 1,500, and you can't get a new taxi cab before an older taxi cab resign. And for a city like San Francisco, that these not much drivers, I mean, like more than 80% we need to work around the clock at least to be sufficient. Not talking about the waiting time, the mistakes will happen, but I think that the people who on the board with Uber forgot that. They thought that they barge in the door and they close it behind them, which is not. They are not. As this business started as a provoking thing, some millionaire somewhere will provoke with a different system, and then Uber will be like the taxi cabs crying out loud for the business that their business got harmed. So I think, like, we need to understand each other as people that's using the app either for living or to get from point A to point B, that a lot of blame for our behavior is toward the companies, not about our nature, because we are a human. It's our nature to behave in some way when we got in some situation, like this is the norm, but we have to blame who made us at that kind of norm. So yeah, I would like also to close it up with a joke like usual. So basically the joke is that there was a sergeant was on a crime scene, and he was talking with the radio with his lieutenants, reporting for his lieutenants about the situation in the crime scene. And of course the lieutenant asked him about the details, and the sergeant said that a wife killed her husband because he was walking in the washed wet floor without taking off his shoes. And the lieutenant asked the sergeant, and what did you done? Did you put her under custody already? The sergeant said no. And when the lieutenant asked him why, the sergeant responded, because we are waiting for the floor to get dry first. So basically they were worried about to get killed because she's murdered just her husband for that. Maybe I need to delete the explanation of the joke. Alright. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please leave a like and give me a comment about stuff you want to hear debated about, as also go with whoever you like. And I bid you a good time until I see you later. Peace.